We're breaking down 5 reasons why Kyrie Irving requesting a trade is great for the NBA. Number 1, creates parity in the East. The Eastern Conference has always had an issue ever since Miami came to be and LeBron James took it over to Cleveland, which is there's rarely any parity. We always knew deep down in our minds a team with LeBron James would be going to the NBA Finals. Now that Kyrie Irving requested a trade and a trade is imminent, we basically know that LeBron James going to the NBA Finals is not an absolute guarantee. In the East, it always was because he had Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, two of the best players in the East, the best point guard in the East, and basically the best power forward in the Eastern Conference. Now that Kyrie Irving is requesting a trade, that leaves Cleveland minus a superstar, minus a big three now. So that leaves room for the Boston Celtics, who just acquired Gordon Hayward. That leaves room for the Washington Wizards. So now the Wizards are in the running to make it to the finals. Now the Boston Celtics are in the running to make it to the NBA Finals, because the key component that everybody keeps forgetting is the simple fact that Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love are very important. It's just like people kind of disregard them. Kevin Love they disregard for the simple fact that he doesn't perform well in the finals, but in the regular playoffs, all the other rounds, he does well. And Kyrie Irving, they push to the side because they don't think he's a franchise player. If Kyrie Irving gets traded, you get to see the value of him being there and the importance that he brings to the team, which is monumental. So this leaves the gate open for the teams, and it will be a challenge. Even if they get good pieces back for Kyrie, it doesn't automatically mean that LeBron James can get to the finals as easy as he has been doing in the past, because you got to remember one thing. Kyrie Irving shoulders a lot of that offensive load, and him not being on that team anymore means that the scoring production has to come from somewhere. I don't think Kevin Love solely can do this. So that leaves the gate open for a lot of other teams. The second reason Kyrie Irving requesting a trade is great for the NBA because it gives LeBron James an out. LeBron James can essentially blame Kyrie Irving for everything. He can say Kyrie Irving wasn't committed to winning. He wasn't committed to Cleveland. I did everything that I could do to acquiesce to the young man, and it just still wasn't enough. His ego is bigger than anything else, and LeBron James could walk away looking like a sympathetic figure. He could look like his whole legacy is untarnished. He could come out and say, I never leaked the information. I respect his ability to make a move the way he wants to make a move. I've done it myself. I support Kyrie and whatever he does. The best of luck to you. LeBron James could actually come out of this looking pristine and clean and like a sympathetic figure if he plays it right. And then that gives him out to go to LA or get him to go to the Spurs or anywhere else that he wants to go, because essentially he wants to contend for titles. And if Kyrie Irving's not on that team, he knows deep down inside, look, we're not going to be contending for anything at all. So I need to make my exit. And this is a perfect segue for him to go in LA, which is a nice landing spot. They have young talent, and it goes with his philosophy of being able to rest the regular season, let the young guys play, and when it's crunch time, LBJ playoff mode comes into play. So this gives LeBron a huge out. Like, hey, I was committed, other guys were not. The third reason why Kyrie Irving requesting a trade is great for everybody, and everybody wins, is because Kyrie Irving gets to get out of LeBron James' shadow. Now, when I say get out of LeBron James' shadow, I don't mean, he has to run his own team or he gets to feed his ego. Basically, what happens is people get to see why Kyrie Irving requested this trade. They get to see his greatness without LeBron being in the picture. A lot of times, Kyrie Irving has been taken for granted, especially by Cleveland fans. Kyrie Irving hit the biggest shot in Cleveland sports history, and he just gets looked at like a role player, like a second fiddle. They don't think he's as talented when the guy averaged 29 points in the NBA Finals, which is almost unheard of. He gets to show and put on display his leadership, his value to a franchise. He knows how to win. He's made mistakes in the past, surely he has, but now you get to see the importance. With him being absent, Cleveland fans will fawn over him. They'll say, man, you know what, we had a gem, and we just basically treated him like crap. From the GMs to the coaching staff, they'll see that, okay, there were certain threats, like especially his finishing ability. The other night I watched game 3 of the NBA Finals, and Kyrie Irving has 16 points in a quarter alone, just all finishes. So people get to see his huge value and get to truly see that, okay, he is a franchise player, and I was wrong. Fourth reason why this trade is not as bad as everybody thinks is the simple fact that this gets away from the whole super teams idea. If Kyrie Irving is requesting a trade, he requests to go to Miami, Knicks, some of these teams aren't even playoff contenders. So that gets away from the notion that, hey, this guy wants to be on a super team. The only way to win is to go on a super team. Guys don't want to play in these small markets. Guys don't want to play in Phoenix, because he could possibly get traded to Phoenix. So if that comes to be, he plays in a market where they've been struggling to sell tickets, struggling to get fans to come to the game, but you bring in a big name like Kyrie Irving through, of course, through trade. That your sponsorship goes up, the franchise value goes up. It's wonderful, and plus it gets away from this whole, if I can't beat them, join them. We got to trade for a big three idea. Back in the day, you had players like T-Mac staying on one team. You had players. It wasn't always like a big three or a big four. It was a 1-2 punch. So Kyrie could take it back to the old school. You look at Allen Iverson, with what he did with Philadelphia 76ers, one of the worst teams ever assembled, and he was able to take them to the NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? So something like that, it goes back to the roots of the game, where it's like it's not necessarily who the stars are on the team. It's just about the idea of we're a team and we can compete, and we have a great player behind us. We're gonna go behind them, and that goes back to that old school mentality. We're not gonna team up. We're gonna compete with what we have, and we'll go strong. And the last reason why this trade can be great for the NBA, because the same way that it gets away from the super teams, this trade can possibly create a super team. If Kyrie Irving gets traded to the Boston Celtics, watch out. Watch out. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's like for Isaiah Thomas or something like that. That would be nuts. That would be crazy, because you have Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, have all of the role pieces of the Celtics. That would be crazy. Or let's just say Kyrie Irving were to get traded to the Spurs. Spurs just become they become deadlier. You have Kyrie Irving taking the spot of Tony Parker, running that whole four screens play. Kyrie is a better shooter than Tony Parker, better finisher than Tony Parker. That's a perfect fit. And to go with Kawhi Leonard, that's a crazy solid team. So this potentially has the knack to actually create a super team. Let's just say Kyrie Irving gets traded to the Knicks, and the Knicks don't unload Melo. They find some way to keep Melo and get rid of another player, and then they bring in another guy. Like then you have Kyrie, Melo, and some other guy. So like the same way that this trade gets away from super teams, this possibly can create another super team that we're not even expecting. You know what I'm saying? Like Cavs might not want to trade to Celtics, but Celtics put together a healthy enough package. Cleveland might have to pull that trigger. See what I'm saying? Same thing in Phoenix. If Kyrie Irving gets traded to Phoenix, you never know. Phoenix could bust a move and possibly try to land another star or get another star during free agency because Kyrie Irving's there. So this trade potentially has the ability to create another super team. So it's not all bad, folks. Only for the Cleveland Cavaliers fans. But in terms of the NBA, we get parity, we get competition, we could possibly get another super team. We get LeBron James getting out of Cleveland the way that he wants to. We get Kyrie Irving getting to show his value to the game of basketball. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction, where Hoops meets Hoopla. Peace.